Hey, hopefully your Thursday is going off smoothly. Thanks for joining us here on Weather Channel Live. Meteorologist Felicia Combs, Chris Bruin. We've got some storms we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about the temperature trends heading into Mother's Day weekend. And the stormy pattern is likely to continue.
Yeah, some of us who have had storms recently are going to Saturday. So you just have to plan around it a little bit.
Yeah, so there are some storms here off towards the west. I think most of the afternoon, though, does look pretty good in New York. It's really tonight that we'll start to see a lot of the rain push in along the I-95 corridor. And tomorrow, Felicia, is going to be a washout.
Yeah, it's not going to be great. You can see those showers already beginning to bubble up there across portions of the city. That could fill in a little bit more. Now, we were just talking about the drought across Florida. You can see here where we've got some active wildfires and some drought that's worsening. When you're talking about severe level drought around the active wildfires, you want some rain, and we're getting it.
This is almost the kind of rainfall that could wipe out some of this drought because it's not overly intense as far as drought conditions go. But this is going to be really good for the ground soil and the moisture, especially now that things are greening up. We're getting into the heart of spring, and it really is going to allow for some improvements here.
You can see those scattered storms continue to bubble up. This is one of those kind of same type of messy patterns with this trough that you get just those smattering of showers and storms filling in across NYC, DC. You could see some of those showers as well. So it's not like a washout, like say tomorrow's going to be a little bit more, Saturday, or no, tomorrow's Friday. Yeah, but it's still going to be weather you have to plan around. Look at Friday.
This is not so much scattered storms as it is a shield of rain. I mean, we're talking about less thunderstorm activity and more just a steady rain. There's gray skies. It's also going to keep your temperatures on the colder side. So a lot of moisture coming in off the Atlantic. And then by Saturday morning, notice how quickly we clear out. So most of the weekend actually looks amazing here across the Northeast.
So that's your payoff, right?
Yeah,
if you're planning out your Mother's Day weekend. Meanwhile, we're watching that possibility for some flood potential, especially across portions of upstate New York, Vermont. You see western portions of Massachusetts and Connecticut getting in on that. And that's because these areas are really going to see kind of round after round of rain.
Yeah, we got a lot more topography here too. And so that enhances runoff. If you get, kind of a stationary storm where you get a lot of rain in a relatively short period of time, the flood concerns could really mount up. So it's not a widespread risk, but a possibility both tomorrow and into Saturday.
So something you'll have to watch there. Meanwhile, we're going to watch the lingering kind of messiness stick around as we head through next week. So you have to be ready for that.
Yeah.
Breaking news from Washington. As of today, the federal government is no longer tracking billion-dollar disasters.
And according to the NOAA website, the agency cites, quote, evolving priorities and staffing changes as the reason for shutting down the data collection. This research has been used over the past several decades to provide government agencies and private companies with a look at how much extreme weather.
I mean, from what we've seen recently, we can take all the help that we can get. And it's not storming right now in Florida, but this is from when we were having storms. And this is what it would look like if we were getting a lot of those high-risk lightning strikes because it's been so dry as well. It takes all of that into account.
Yeah, so this is a new feature, wildfire spark risk. The lightning bolts that you see that are in the red are more likely to kind of spark a wildfire. They're staying on the ground longer. It's those ones that kind of stay stationary almost for like several more seconds or longer periods of time. And so here's some of the data that it takes into account with this new data set.
Yeah, they were just describing that, how it detects the lightning that lasts 1,000 times longer than normal and the strike location with the environmental data. So if there's a drought, of course, it's more dangerous. So with this, we could pinpoint those strikes and that fire potential better. That is possible in some other portions of the country that maybe don't typically see it quite as much this time of year.
Yeah, the threat in the southeast today is mainly for large hail. And that's what we're watching in places like Kentucky, Tennessee, the Carolinas heads up. Storm's going to be building here over the next few hours. Thanks for joining us on Weather Channel Live. Meteorologist Felicia Combs and Chris Bruin. And speaking of one place that could deal with some of these storms is Nashville.
Yeah. If you have plans in D.C., maybe you're going out to the baseball game. Cardinals taking on the Nationals. Not bad.
Not bad. It will be on the cooler side. Again, this will be tomorrow evening. And I think a lot of the rain's going to be earlier in the day, so hopefully things will dry out just in time. Things may still be a little damp by first pitch, but otherwise, we may even get a nice sunset out of this.
Yeah, I mean, the wind could add a little extra element to that, maybe making it feel a little bit cooler, but otherwise, not bad at all. To Tampa now, where the Brewers are taking on the Rays. Of course, this is going to be much milder there, the cloud cover hanging around. This is for your Saturday, though, so if you're trying to make plans, the weather doesn't look very bad for that.
Yeah, it could be stormy, and it certainly could be a lot hotter this time of the year there. How about the LPGA? And if you're doing any golfing, Jersey City, New Jersey, wet on Friday. windy on Saturday, but it does improve, and we're going to talk temperatures warming up into near 80 degrees.
I'm not a golfer myself, but I've heard that it's the wind that can mess with your game even more than the rain. So might want to keep a close eye on that. Meanwhile, the weekend, maybe you are having a weekend wedding, but the weekend looking much better there in Flourtown, PA for Saturday and Sunday compared to Friday, where it's going to be kind of rainy.
All right, so there's a look at your Mother's Day forecast. Couple things to point out. We're going to have some showers here in the Pacific Northwest. Nothing all that heavy, though. Storms likely. South Alabama, South Georgia, northern Florida. But other than that, it's really going to be hot here in the northern plains. Beautiful in the northeast. The Great Lakes, Chicago, 77 degrees, 79 Dallas, and 79 in Albuquerque.
A bit windy there for portions of the Pacific Northwest with that next system as well. So keep that in mind if you're planning on taking mom out. Meanwhile, you'll see where we've got that chance for some showers and storms. You see the lightning icon there in Lake Charles. It's not going to be raining and storming all day for Mother's Day. You just have to plan around it. The rest of Texas, Oklahoma looking pretty good. A little warm, but not bad.
No, definitely not bad. Dallas, it could be a lot hotter. We're only going to be in the upper 60s to low 70s here. So afternoon brunch plans look incredible. Mix of sun and clouds, really hard to be forecast there.
Meanwhile, across the southeast, this is, you look at this and it looks like a whole lot of rain, like a washout of a day. That's not going to be the case. Some places will be rainier or stormier than others, like kind of along the I-10 corridor. But I do think it's not going to be like a complete washout for your Mother's Day.
No, not a complete, especially from Atlanta northward. We're actually looking really nice in Nashville and Raleigh. But we are anticipating a lot more cloudiness. So it's not going to be the sunniest day if you are headed to the beaches. Atlanta, mostly cloudy skies. That's going to keep your temperatures kind of on the cooler side, which may not be a bad thing because 60s, it'll be humid, so it's not going to be like chilly, but it will feel nice.
Meanwhile, it is going to be perfection across the Northeast for your Mother's Day Sunday.